All right, I want to welcome everyone to our live Wednesday night webinar. Tonight we want to talk about local events, and I want to help you understand how to craft the perfect elevator speech and how to be able to use that when you meet people to be able to create the interest for them to want to get information so that you can establish a relationship that will lead to a potential sale. And there's a sequence that I just gave you. And so as we go through tonight's presentation, I want to help you understand in local events, before we even talk about the perfect elevator speech, from a local event standpoint, where do you find people that you can meet? And I've got on the screen here a couple locations that work very well here in the United States. There's meetup groups. If you're in any kind of metropolitan area, there are meetup groups in your area. There's local community events in your area. There's most likely networking groups and lead clubs that are within your area, and there's always athletic events that are going on in your area. So what I did is I went to meetup.com, and what I did is I did meetup.com/Chicago so that I could see what's going on in the Chicagoland area. And when this screen came up for me, all I did is I scrolled down and I found I'm Not Dead Yet 50 Plus Meetup, and there's 4,500 baby boomers in that group. And if you're into hiking or outdoor activities, there's 17,500 people who are in that group on Meetup. Maybe you're interested in using technology. Now, I don't know if this group would apply in terms of Chicago Enterprise Tech Meetup, whether what you're trying to do from a technology standpoint to getting the message out about nitric oxide therapy, if this is the right group, but it certainly would be a group to possibly go meet. There's 1,500 people in that group. And then what I did in the search bar, because on the Meetup platform they have a search, I put in heart health. And when I entered that and hit the submit thing, I came up with this screen, and there's the West Suburban Health and Wellness Group. There's almost 1,800 health seekers or people in that meetup group. This is a great platform for you to be able to meet people either health related or interest related, because understand what the perfect elevator speech is. It's not about selling product. It's about creating the desire in the person that you're talking to for them to want to get more information. As we go through tonight's presentation, this will become even clearer in terms of what I'm trying to help you understand. Now, I did a Google search. I did community events in West Chicago, and I noticed here that it's the Daily Herald. The Daily Herald is a major newspaper for the suburban area, so I decided to click on that. And when I clicked on it and I scrolled it down, and I did this on Wednesday, January 25th, last week when I was supposed to do this presentation and my computer program crashed. Well, here, this one line, 12 months to take charge of your finances. Now, that's at the public library. I don't know if there would be, people in there that would be looking for home-based businesses, but that might be a place to go to meet people who might need an extra $300 to $500 every month, might be interested in a home-based business. Or here's another one, detoxing your home. People who are going to go to that type of event are health-conscious people. And that would be a great place to, again, meet health-conscious people that as you engage them in conversation, there's going to come a point in time where they're going to ask you what you do for a living. And we're going to help you be able to understand how to effectively answer that question through the perfect elevator speech. I also noticed over here that lose 20 pounds and keep it off forever. Well, that would be an interesting place to go, especially when the Microbiome product line comes on board from Synergy Worldwide. So just by doing a local search in a major newspaper that's in my area, that gave me, just on Wednesday, January 25th, 3 options that I could go to meet people. I was at an event last Friday here in the town that I live in called West Chicago. It's called Healthy West Chicago. They have a Rethink Your Drink initiative. And I attended that event, and I actually used the perfect elevator speech. I used it with 2 ladies that were at the same table that I was at. One was a doctor, chiropractic physician who taught at the National College of Chiropractic, and then there was another lady there who was an office manager for a chiropractic office who does educational programs, and I used the perfect elevator speech individually with each one of them. The doctor from the National College didn't show any interest, but the lady from the chiropractic office did, and I'll show you exactly what I sent her as a follow-up to the perfect elevator speech. Now, I also did a Google search, networking groups or lead clubs around West Chicago, and I found this one here in Naperville. Naperville has about 120,000 people in it, in that town alone, and a leads club typically either meets in the morning or they'll meet at lunchtime or they'll meet in the evening for dinner. There's usually a cost to join the organization. However, they usually allow you to attend 2 of these events for free just to be able to see if you like who's there and if they like you. Because the whole purpose of a leads club is to give each other good, effective leads. Now, if you have a good elevator speech, here's a great place for you to go and test out your elevator speech before you actually join something like this or plunk down money for something like this. You want to practice what you're doing. So here's a great opportunity for you to go, and maybe it will cost you lunch or breakfast to be able to attend one of these events. I also Googled running events around West Chicago, which is a town that I live in, and I saw this upcoming Illinois races running in the U.S. So if your model is to go and be able to help athletes understand how they can use nitric oxide therapy to improve athletic training, performance, and recovery, this is a great place to go. And I clicked on that link, and just between the end of January and the end of March, there's 21 events in the Chicagoland area. And I could go through these and I could kind of pick and choose which ones I might want to get more information. If I was planning to do some type of booth, I might contact the coordinators for each of these events and see if there's any charge. And if I was getting started in this, if this was part of my business model, I would want to pick the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, the ones that are small events that maybe only charge $25 or $50, or maybe even it's free for you to come in, as long as you are providing some type of benefit or service to the people that are going to be part of that event. And that's a great way to, again, practice your elevator speech. And the elevator speech is not about selling product at that event. It's all about creating interest so that that person wants to get more information to allow you to establish a relationship that then can lead to a sale. Now, when we look at the perfect elevator speech, I'm going to actually give you specific examples on tonight's presentation. But before I do that, I want us to understand what your elevator speech isn't, as well as what it's designed to do. So this is what your elevator speech isn't. It's not designed to sell products. And if you understand this, then you'll significantly reduce your frustration when you try to apply this technique. Because if you're trying to use an elevator speech to gain customers, you're going to most likely see your ability to do that significantly decreased. But if you understand what your elevator speech is designed to do, which is create interest for more information that allows you to build a relationship that leads to a sale, then you can see how effective your elevator speech can become, especially as you practice it and tweak it and understand the process of how to do it effectively to create the interest that leads to a relationship that then creates a sale. Now, I have a question for everyone that's on tonight's call. So this is going to require you to give me some feedback. What is the one big thing everyone is always buying? And before I reveal the answer, I'd like to get some feedback from those that are on the call tonight. What's the one big thing everyone's always buying?
I would say information.
Okay, so Donald says information. So Donald, why would they want information? What would be the purpose of that information?
Because they want to see if what you are, what you're talking about resonates with them.
Okay. Anyone else have any ideas or ways of answering this question?
Hey, Dan?
Yes.
So most of the people that I talk to they're looking for answers to a problem that they have. They just want a solution to whatever it is, whether it's some type of health care, or if someone has something wrong in their house, they want it fixed. They're trying to get a solution to a problem.
Okay, so trying to get a solution to the problem. Thank you, Judy. Anyone else have any thoughts on how to answer this question?
Yeah,
This is Tammy.
Yeah.
We'll let Tammy go first, and then we'll go to Timothy.
How about hope? Because there are some people that, matter of fact, there's a gentleman who really feels like he's not going to make it, and he's given up, and his wife is trying to talk him into trying this, but I think hope could be a big one, because I mean, look at some of the gentlemen that you've run across where their lives have changed significantly.
Okay, so hope. Thank you, Tammy. Timothy, did you have something to share?
Yes, one word: solutions. Whether
Okay.
it's health, wealth, or whatever, they're looking for a solution.
Okay. And anyone else that have any thoughts before I reveal the answer? Here's the answer to the question. You all are correct. It's transformation. They're looking to do something to transform their life or their situation that they're in. The before and the after. Disconnect or discontented with something, and the after is being contented. The condition's less than perfect. They've got a problem, and they're looking for a solution so that condition can improve. The present condition is less than ideal. The present condition is close to ideal. Everything, people are always buying, Donald, whether it be information or a solution or hope, Tammy, they're looking for a transformation from where they're at to where they would like to be. And so in this process of creating the perfect elevator speech, all you're trying to do is simply articulate the shift or transformation from the before state to the after state, and there's three key components that make up the perfect elevator speech: a question or questions, a statement, and a call to action. And the order can vary in how you do this. And so tonight I'm going to give you some examples of how this fits, and you're going to see that as I give you these examples, there's a pattern to everything. And then once you get down the phrases for the different parts of the pattern, then it's just a matter of how you combine those things in the conversation that you have with an individual. Now, I didn't do it in this email for this week, but last week, this is the email that I sent out to you. This email was a perfect elevator speech. You may not have realized it, but that's how it was written and designed. Here it is. Have you ever been frustrated in your ability to interest people in Pro Plus when they ask you the following two questions? What do you do for a living, or how are you? Or you're in front of a group of people who want to know what you do for a living, and after you answer, no one responds. That's the before. That's the pain. That's the problem that we're trying to solve for a lot of people. Here's the call to action. If you attend tonight's live presentation, then I'm going to help you transform your frustration into success with the perfect offer or elevator speech that will increase your probability for a sale. Helping you create the environment where people want to know more. Helping you craft the perfect elevator speech, one to help you acquire customers and one to help you attract business builders. That's the statement part. That's the after. Before, you're frustrated that no one's resonating. The message that you're sharing or the way that you're sharing, no one's resonating with it. Well, we want to change that so that when you do share information, people are going to want to know more. They're going to resonate with your perfect elevator speech, and you're going to be able to eventually acquire a customer or attract a business builder because you've established a relationship that allows you to then be able to help them understand how to apply the information to change the pain point and give them a solution to what they're experiencing. Now, I follow a guy by the name of Ryan Dice, and he has a system called the Predictable Selling System. And he's got there's three steps or three parts to this process to get to the sale. The dollar sign over here is the sale. There's a triggering event. That's the before thing. Maybe the person had a job change or birth of a child or marriage, divorce, death of a loved one, major system or utility failure, holiday, whatever it might be. There's some triggering event. Now, we're going to talk tonight specifically to the triggering events that we want to create in a person's in a person's life. That'll make more sense when I come to the next slide. Then there's a requesting action. Get them to raise their hand and express interest or ask for a micro commitment, which is a little time or a little money. And then there's the ideal sales conversation, the obvious next step, always referencing the previous action. So he gives this example. Since you did whatever that requesting action was, then you'll definitely be interested in whatever the product you have. It's not, and then so this is all about teaching people how to position information so that you can sell without what he calls selling, that you can sell without selling. Now, how do you take that and put it into the perfect elevator speech? That's what I'm going to teach you tonight. We're recording this so that we'll have this in our Synergy Family business plan so that you can go back and review this. But here's the triggering event. If you're going to use our marketing strategy, Nitric Oxide Therapy, your goal is to interest them in wanting to get the eBook that's been branded to you on Nitric Oxide Therapy. Now, what's a triggering event? Well, it could be a person's got high blood pressure, or they got diabetic complications, or they have heart disease. Maybe they've got some cognitive function issues, or they've got sexual function issues, especially for men with ED. Maybe it's poor wound healing, cholesterol concerns, athletic performance. So the easiest way that I've found to create a triggering event is to ask questions. And I'll show you how I do this in different situations, but here's one of my favorite questions to ask people. Do you or anyone you know have high blood pressure or diabetes? And the reason why I ask that particular question is I know from experience that I always get at least 60% or more people who respond positively to that question. So I know if I ask it, my chances are better than a monkey to get a positive result. What kind of side effects do you have when you take your high blood pressure medications? So if I know a person's on high blood pressure medication, I'll ask him that type of question because I want to know, one, what kind of side effects are that person's experiencing, as well as most people who are taking high blood pressure medications not only have side effects, but they don't like the side effects that they're experiencing. What's your family history for heart disease? Are you interested in improving your athletic performance by as much as 15%? Have you ever heard of nitric oxide therapy? So again, these are just a sample, a small sample of questions that you can ask to create the triggering event so that you can then share your perfect elevator speech. And what's the requesting action that you're going to be looking to do? You're going to want to send them by email your branded nitric oxide therapy ebook, or when Synergy Worldwide, as we'll learn later on tonight, the time frame for when they're going to launch the Microbiome product line. By the time that they have that product line launched, we'll also have a Microbiome Research ebook. So you have an ebook branded to you in nitric oxide therapy, you'll have a branded book in microbiome, and then you can decide how you're going to, what is the requesting action. That will determine how you're going to share your elevator speech with that individual to create the interest. Your questions that you use are going to lead them either towards nitric oxide therapy because you're going to help them understand a pain point that they have, or within their family or people that they know, or you're going to do it in relationship to gut health or weight management or energy through the microbiome. And what's the follow-through? Now, Ryan gives a kind of like a template. You know how whatever that emotion is, you know how emotion it is when insert before. That's why I sent you the Nitric Oxide Therapy ebook. Now, when you read it that way, it doesn't make sense, but when you read it this way, it does. You know how frustrating it is when your brother keeps beating your 5K time. That's why I sent you the Nitric Oxide Therapy ebook. If you apply this technique, you can improve your time by as much as 15% and finally beat him. Now, I put that in there because I have a friend who's tired of his brother always beating him in the races that they run. Well, here's a way that he could finally beat his brother. Or how about this one? When we talked, I sensed that you're frustrated with the side effects of your high blood pressure medication. That's why I sent you the Nitric Oxide Therapy ebook. I can help you understand how to apply this natural method to hopefully get you off of all of your high blood pressure medications like I've been able to do with other clients. Now, if that is shared with a person who's interested in athletic performance, that doesn't resonate with them. But if I share it with the person who's on high blood pressure medication and has expressed to me in my questions with him frustrations with their medications, and they wanted the Nitric Oxide Therapy ebook, and I sent it to them, and I'm doing my follow-up or my follow-through, now I'm addressing their emotion, their pain point, reminding them why they got that nitric oxide therapy. I can help you understand how to apply this natural method, hopefully solve your problem, transformation, like I've been able to solve other clients' problem, transformation, by helping them get off of medications. So let's give some examples. All right. Let's say that you go to a networking or a leads group, like one of the first things that I talked about. I go to the Naperville Leads Club. It's a morning breakfast, and I go there, and I'm allowed to be able to participate. And typically in one of those types of events, at the beginning of the meeting, they allow everyone to share who they are. You've got about 30 seconds to share who you are and what you do. So when my turn came, or comes to me, this is how I would do it. Hi, my name is Dan Hammer, but before I share with you what I do, I'd like to ask a question. How many people here either have or know someone who has high blood pressure or diabetes? Please raise your hand. Now, again, I know from experience that if I ask that question in any kind of larger group, I usually get 60% or more of the hands raised. So once those hands are raised, then I would say, thank you. I'm part of the Million Lives Project, and our goal is to get into the hands of 1 million people or more information on how nitric oxide therapy can be a natural way to address most high blood pressure and diabetic health issues. We have a fantastic ebook that helps people understand how this Nobel Prize-winning information can naturally improve their health. If you'd like me to email you this resource, then please pass me one of your business cards and write on the back, ebook. I'll send it to you when I get home. Thank you for this opportunity to share our mission. And then I'd sit down. And that would put me in that 30 to 45 second time frame to be able to share. But what I've done is, rather than tell people my name and what I do, I've created the ability in the people who raise their hands to want this type of information, and I've given them a call to action so that if they do take their business card and write on the back of it, ebook, and send it to me while other people are introducing themselves, or after the meeting come up to me and give me their business card with ebook on the back of it, I now know that I've got a person who is definitely interested in this information. And I'll send them an email. I'll give you one example tonight in an email that I sent to an individual. So that would be an example of how I use what I call the perfect elevator speech in a networking or leads group. Now, maybe I'm in a networking group or a leads group or some type of social function, and we're on a one-on-one conversation. And typically, to how people break the ice is, what do you do for a living? Well, usually what I would try and do is I try and ask that question first so that I can get that person telling me about themselves. That way I can gather some information that I know about that individual, and maybe in that process they'll disclose some information with regards to their health issues. But when they go to reciprocate back to me, what do you do for a living? I would do this. Well, before I answer that, let me ask you a question. How many people do you know who have high blood pressure or diabetes? And once you ask a question, you've got to discipline yourself to keep your lips shut, your mouth quiet, and allow the person to answer. And again, the reason why I use this question so often is because I know that usually I get a 60% positive response to it. Well, once they answer, I would say, well, I'm a part of the Million Lives Project. And our goal is to get into the hands of 1 million people or more information on how nitric oxide therapy can be a natural way to address most high blood pressure and diabetic health issues. We have a fantastic ebook that helps people understand how this Nobel Prize-winning information can naturally improve their health. Would you like me to email you this resource tool? I'm interested in seeing if they're interested in the information. That's the purpose of the perfect elevator speech, to be able to identify the people who want the information because it resonates with them. Now, you notice that I put the Million Lives Project with an asterisk in red because I've got David Munoz on the call tonight, and that's the Chicago Hispanic Health Initiative. Or we've got a great group of people from the Caribbean Islands and Barbados, the Caribbean Islands Health Initiative. So you just replaced the Million Lives Project with Chicago Hispanic Health Initiative. Well, I'm part of the Chicago Hispanic Health Initiative. And our goal, the rest of the information is the same. Or, well, I'm part of the Caribbean Islands Health Initiative. Now, let's say that the person said, when I asked that question, how many people do you know who have high blood pressure or diabetes? I don't know anyone. Well, if you do run into someone who has that, I'm a part of the Chicago Hispanic Health Initiative. And our goal is to get into the hands of 1 million people or more information on how nitric oxide therapy can be a natural way to address them. I would still ask them the question about the resource tool. So all I did is just had to do a slight tweak. If they told me no, they didn't know anyone with high blood pressure or diabetes, then I just have a slight tweak at the beginning, and I still use the basic same information. I still use the same question because I want a yes or no answer to that question. And if they tell me no, they don't want my information, they don't want me to send them anything, then I respond by handing them my business card, and I say, well, here's my business card, and if you change your mind, just call me or send me an email. And then change the conversation or move on to the next person in the networking event. They're not a candidate at that point in time. Now, if they answer yes, then you get their email address, and then this is what I would say. When I get home tonight, I'll send you an email with this ebook attached. Would it be all right if I follow up with you to see if you have any ideas on how I can get this information out to as many people as possible? And then I'll see what that person responds, how they respond. See, I'm not asking them to get on any product. I'm not asking them to do anything from a sales standpoint. I'm asking them for help. Now, some people, they don't want to help me, which is okay. But there's a lot of people that would. But if you don't ask the question, you will never know and get their help. It's not like they're going to volunteer their help, but if you ask the question when you're talking to them, yeah, I think I might have some things that would be useful to you. So send me the information and then we can talk. See, all you're doing is you're looking to create a conversation for more information, to develop a relationship, and then as that relationship develops and you talk and converse, you'll find out maybe they'll never buy the product, but they give you a great idea on things that they've done on Facebook or things that they've done from an ad standpoint or things that they've done in other platforms on social media that has worked well for what they do. And they lead you to a great idea or a great way of getting your information out to people. Now, you'll notice that there's two cards on this slide. I've been working with Carol Raines, and we created this card for Carol, the Million Lives Project. It's got her name and phone number, and then it's got her email address. So she could easily give that to the person, and there's information on the back of the card that is specific to what Carol's doing. And now that's a great card that person has, and they always, the Million Lives Project, wow, what a unique thing that this person's doing. The Million Lives Project. The mission of the Million Lives Project is greater than an individual. Again, people want to be part of a mission that's greater than themselves, that's making a positive change in the lives of people. And then we have this postcard that we've created for the Caribbean Islands Health Initiative for promoting the Tuesday night live webinar. Again, these are just examples of things that you can do from a business card standpoint, that when you've in contact with a person, you share the perfect elevator speech. Whether they answer yes or no, you have the ability to effectively put in their hand a business card that you've set the stage for maybe their change of mind in the future or their current situation. They want to get more information. When you send that information to them, again, your card will help resonate. Hey, yeah, this is the lady I met at that function, Carol Raines, and that she sent me the email, because the subject line says information about the Million Lives Project and nitric oxide therapy. Now, what do you do with a one-on-one where a person says, how are you? Well, instead of saying, I'm fine, I feel good, it's okay, it's a great day, it's an okay day, well, change it up. I feel great. I just helped one of my clients use nitric oxide therapy to bring her blood pressure down from 160 over 90 to 112 over 68. It's so rewarding helping others improve their health. Have you ever heard of nitric oxide therapy? Well, I can tell you that 90% of the people are going to answer that question no. And what have I done? I've taken a how are you that people just throw out there to, wow, I'm creating an interest here. And I'm going to see whether that interest leads to that person wanting more information. So when they tell me no, well, neither had I until I became a part of the Million Lives Project. Our goal is to get into the hands of 1 million people or more information on how nitric oxide therapy can be a natural way to address most cardiovascular health concerns like high blood pressure. We have a fantastic ebook. It helps people understand how this Nobel Prize-winning information can naturally improve their health. Would you like me to email you this resource tool? So I've got 2 questions in this, and I'm expecting a response. And my response to either question is always going to be a yes or no. If they tell me yes in the first question, great. Well, I had never heard of this until I became part of the Million Lives Project.
Hello.
Or in the second question, would you like me to email you this resource tool? What am I going to do? I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the previous one. I'm going to use the same response. If they tell me no, well, here's my business card. If you change your mind, then just call me or send me an email and go on your way. And if they say yes, hand them your business card, get their email address. When I get home tonight, I'll send you an email with the ebook attached. Would it be all right if I follow up with you? See if you have any ideas on how I can get this information out to as many people as possible? And again, you'll find out whether they have an interest in allowing you to follow up with them, whether they have ideas. But if you don't ask the question, you'll never know. And if you ask the question, you'll be surprised at how many great ideas you get and how many people inherently just want to help you accomplish your mission. The Million Lives Project, help you get this information into especially when they get the ebook and see how good that ebook is, what great information you have in that ebook, especially if you help them identify which parts of the ebook to read. We've covered that in previous presentations.
I'll let some other talk. I'm on the other line.
Yeah, whoever's on can you mute your phone, please? Now, let's say that you want to do athletic performance. That's where you want to resonate with. I'm at an event. I'm at one of those 5K events that I looked at on Google, called the race coordinator, able to set up a table. I've got my information out there. And in that process of putting that information out there, people come up to my booth. Hi, my name is Dan Hammer. What's your current 5K time? I wait for an answer. They're going to tell me. If I could help you improve your 5K time by as much as 15%, would you be interested in learning how? I can tell you that most athletes are. And if they tell me no, well, here's my business card. If you change your mind, then just call me or send me an email. Again, it's the same step as what I showed you before. If they say yes, well, I'm part of the Million Lives Project, which is helping athletes understand how they can use nitric oxide therapy to naturally improve their athletic training, performance, and recovery. I've got a fantastic ebook. It helps athletes understand how to properly apply this Nobel Prize-winning information. Would you like me to send it to you by email? And then I just wait for the response. And all I'm doing is using this perfect elevator speech to create the interest in the people who really want the information. And if they tell me yes, then gosh, I can send that information to them. So as I shared with you, I had a person that I met with at this event that I went to last Friday. Her name is Christina, and she wanted the information. And here's the email I sent to her. And every email is some form of what I'm showing you tonight. Hi, Christina. Thank you for your time at the Rethink Your Drink event in West Chicago. I want to remind her where I met her. I had to leave early for an appointment, but I wanted to follow up on our conversation. I'm reminding her of our conversation. I'm excited to be a part of the Million Lives Project. Our goal is to get into the hands of 1 million people or more information on how nitric oxide therapy can naturally address most cardiovascular concerns. Cardiovascular concerns like heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetic complications, cognitive and sexual function, and wound healing. It can also be used to improve athletic performance. You indicated that one of the goals of the Inspired Health Center is to help educate your clients in healthy alternatives. If you'd be interested, one, I would enjoy working with you to set up an educational seminar or workshop on how nitric oxide therapy could naturally address cardiovascular health concerns. Or two, I would enjoy working with you to set up an educational seminar on how nitric oxide therapy can improve athletic training, performance, and recovery by as much as 15%. I've attached to this email our nitric oxide therapy ebook that we created for the Million Lives Project. The response we've gotten has been fantastic. In fact, as I'm writing you this email, I just received a call from a potential client in New Jersey who watched some of the videos that are part of the ebook. I'll follow up with you next week to answer any questions and to see if there's an opportunity to work together to bless lives with better health. Have a blessed day, Dan. And so again, that's my basic framework. And then when I use this, I'll just change the emails slightly, depending upon what the conversation is, what the opportunity might be. Certainly if I was sending this to an athlete, I wouldn't be talking to them about setting up webinars and seminars, but for her, that applies. So you just use your email to reinforce why they wanted the information in the beginning. And then when you call them, you do the same thing. When you do your follow-through, call them, you reinforce the reason why they wanted that information to begin with, to see how that conversation and relationship is going to develop. The goal is to create the desire for more information. You send them the requesting action. In this case, it's our ebook. And you follow up to begin to create the ideal sales conversation. And you're always referencing the previous action. Since you did this, Christine, since you wanted the ebook, the nitric oxide therapy ebook, then you're definitely going to be interested in our product of choice, ProArginine Plus. Now, how do you do this for business builders? Well, what are triggering events in people? Maybe they had a bad experience in network marketing. Maybe they need extra cash. Maybe they have a desire to do something that they're passionate about. They hate their job. They feel unfulfilled in life. They're looking for something that will give them purpose. Again, what's the easiest way to create a triggering event? It's to ask questions. And what I'm going to try and give them, I'm going to try and give them our Synergy Family Business Plan, but I'm going to define what I want them to see and read and watch in that plan, because I don't want them to read the whole thing. They won't do it. So I've got, have you ever been involved in network marketing? Oh, I hate that. I got involved in it. Well, what was your experience like? I don't have to ask that question. I already know by their response. Well, what turned you off to this business model? Well, the guy promised me I'd make a lot of money and he'd help me do it. And once he signed me up, the guy left. I never saw him again. And it was just a waste of time and effort. That's important to know. Are you passionate about helping others improve their health? Have you ever thought about a home-based business helping others improve their health? So again, you've got a brain and you have the ability to create questions. And as you do this and get experienced in it, the process of creating questions and asking questions gets easier and easier and easier as you do this. Now, what are we going to send them? Synergy Family Business Plan. I'll show you an email in our presentation tonight on exactly what I want them to look at. What's my follow-through? Well, I know how frustrating it can be when you're promised results and then see nothing for your efforts. That's why I sent you our Synergy Family Business Plan. I've been able to use it as a roadmap for helping others improve their health while creating cash flow that's helping our family enjoy options we didn't have before. Or, like you, I have a passion for helping others improve their health. That's why I sent you our Synergy Family Business Plan. It provides me with a roadmap on how to implement marketing strategies that has allowed me to help even more people improve their health. Now, what might be some elevator speeches? Well, if we're talking business, and the person knows, that we're talking business, and they ask me, what do you do for business? And I'm looking at that person as a business builder as opposed to a customer. I'm with Synergy Worldwide, and our organization uses a marketing strategy called the Million Lives Project. Our goal is to get into the hands of 1 million people or more information on how nitric oxide therapy can naturally address cardiovascular health concerns. Do you see how all this stuff continues, that you see the same thing over and over and over? It's not like you have to reinvent the wheel here. So let me ask you a question. Do you see a need to help people naturally address high blood pressure and diabetic issues? Now, why did I use that question? Because if they can't see the need for that, which 66% of diabetics have high blood pressure, and the #1 killer of men and women worldwide is high blood pressure, and there's over 100 million people in America that have high blood pressure, and they can't see that, then they most likely won't be interested in the business. But if they do see that, then my next step is, well, I've used several marketing strategies that have allowed me to help others improve their health while creating positive cash flow for my Synergy business. If I send you some information on this opportunity, would you be willing to invest 30 minutes to evaluate it? Again, I'm using questions in my perfect elevator speech to sort the person that I'm talking to see, one, do they have an interest and passion in what I've got an interest and passion in? And secondly, are they willing to commit 30 minutes to evaluate it? Because if they're not willing to commit 30 minutes to evaluate it, they're not interested. So if they say, yes, great, I'll send you an email that will link you to our Synergy Family Business Plan, but I don't want you to read all of it. I only want you to read 2 pages and watch 2 videos, and then we can talk and see if this is right for you. And if they tell me no, that they don't want me to send anything, again, I'd hand them my business card and just tell them the same thing. Well, if you ever change your mind, here's my business card. Just give me a call. It's as simple as that. Now, here's my email to them. Dear John, or whoever the person was I was talking to, thank you for taking the time to evaluate this opportunity. Our mission statement is blessing lives with better health as we build a vibrant network marketing business. I've been able to do both. Here's the link I told you I would send. Please click on it. That takes them to online, our Synergy Family Business Plan. I only want you to read 2 pages and watch 2 videos, less than 30 minutes of your time. Please read pages 1 and 2 to understand who we are and our mission. Watch the video, Our Mission Statement and the Million Lives Project on page 7. Watch the video, Marketing 101 on page 13. I'll call you tomorrow to get your impressions. If you like what you see and hear, then let's spend some more time making sure this would be right for you. If you're not interested, then I'll respect your decision and not bring it up to you again. Thank you for taking 30 minutes or less to evaluate this opportunity, and again, close it the way that you would like to close it. It's as simple as that. An email that completely directs them to the things that you want them to do. And if they're not going to take 30 minutes to do this, then they're most likely not going to be a good candidate to be a business builder, because they're most likely not going to then implement things that you try and help them implement. So you might as well find out up front how well a person follows directions, calls the actions, and does things. And then when you call them, when you do your follow-up, call them the next day. Ask them, what resonated to you in that video on our Synergy Family Business Plan. Let me go back to the previous slide to make sure I say the right thing. So what resonated with you on our mission statement? And can you see the Million Lives Project and how we can definitely affect the health of 1 million people or more? Is that something that you want to become part of? I'm asking questions. And on the Marketing 101, did you understand some of the things that we talked about in there? How to, how we help people implement marketing strategies, create their elevator speech, all those things to help them be successful. All that time, when you joined that other network marketing group and you got left high and dry and you had a bad experience from it, can you see how we operate differently? So again, as you do this, you'll get the perfect elevator speech that works for you. You'll have perfect emails that will follow up effectively with the people that you're creating interest in. And again, we need to go back and understand your perfect elevator speech. It's not designed to sell products. If you understand that, then I can tell you that you're not going to get frustrated when you apply this technique. But if you do understand what it's designed to do, which is to create interest for more information, then you're going to see how, as you apply the perfect elevator speech and begin to get good at it, good in your questions that you ask to create the pain, interest, to want the information that you have for them because you're offering them something that can transform them, take them from the before to the after to where they want to get to, and do your follow-up to create the relationship that will lead to a product user or a business builder joining you in Synergy Worldwide. Any questions? We're at 10 minutes before the top of the hour, and in 10 minutes we've got to go on to the Synergy corporate call. Do I have any questions from anyone on tonight's call that you would like to ask me? Donald, I see you opened your line. Did you have something you want to share?
Yes, my question is this going to be on the, is it going to be available to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've recorded it. Tomorrow I'll edit it, and I'll have it into our Synergy Family Business Plan. It'll most likely be on page 16 of our Family Business Plan, and I'll have that in on by Friday. I'll have the plan. I've updated a couple other things in the Synergy Family Business Plan that I hope that I've already done. Have a few things I want to finish up tomorrow. This will definitely be done. This slide presentation will also be in the Synergy Family Business Plan so that you can go through the PDF for the slide presentation and be able to see, the scripting that I have and all the other things so that you can begin to work out your own speech pattern and how you want to phrase things and say things. Anyone else with any questions or comments before we... You're welcome, Donald. Anyone else before we say goodnight and move on to the corporate call? That was a recording of one of our Wednesday night training sessions, our live webinars that we do every Wednesday night. we wanted you to experience it, to see the kinds of valuable information that we give through our training programs on Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings on our live webinars. That was the perfect elevator speech. My name is Dan Hammer. Certainly, if you have any questions, we would ask that you get back to the person who showed you this information. Work with your sponsor directly. If you are in our Synergy family and you need help, then absolutely give me a call. You can reach me at 1-800-966-3012. If you're in Synergy Worldwide but not part of our Synergy family, I certainly would like to be able to help you, but understand you need to respect my time too. We put this information together to help our distributors in our Synergy family be as successful as possible, and we make this information available to everyone in Synergy Worldwide so that we can all improve our skill level to bring this information to as many people as possible and be able to change lives. Again, our mission statement is blessing lives with better health as we build a vibrant network marketing business. We want to be able to use Synergy Worldwide products, especially ProOxygen Plus through Nitric Oxide Therapy, and be able to utilize the new product line coming from Synergy Worldwide to reset the microbiome for people's gut health. And we want to be able to bless lives with better health and again build this in a vibrant network marketing business because we're honing our skills and improving our skills to be able to deliver the message more effectively. Again, thank you for your time. If you do have questions, please give me a call at 1-800-966-3012.